Yo, CFC, Riddles Blue, back with another video, and this is my Premier League 22-23 predictions. This is how I think the Premier League will finish next May, and I'm going to start off from going from 20th to on first. For different teams, obviously I'll detail why I want to, but why I think they will finish in this position in the Premier League this season. So in 20th place, I'm going to go with Fulham, simply because they're a team that's normally goes up, then they go back down. They could fluctuate between 20th, 19th and 18th, but nonetheless, I do think they're going to get relegated, and my prediction, I feel they will be the worst team in the Premier League this season. Then we go to 19th, AFC Bournemouth. I see Bournemouth, another team that's been in the Premier League before and were in there for a numerous amount of years, but have lost their manager and a great manager in Eddie Howe. And my opinion, I don't think they're gonna be able to stay up. So I think they're gonna get relegated. And then we have in 18th in Leeds United. I feel like they're gonna get relegated as well because they've lost too many big hitters. They've lost Rafinha. They have lost Calvin Phillips, and Bamford was injury prone. Their attack won't get enough goals, and their defense concedes way too much. That's something that should never change regardless of any manager that they have. And their disciplinary issues is by far the worst in the Premier League. So they could even finish bottom, who knows? But I feel like these three teams, I feel like they will get relegated this season. But then we have 17th. I'm going to go with Southampton. For the last couple of years, I feel like Southampton has been dropping. And I feel like it's going to be long for them this season. It's going to be a relegation battle for them. And yeah, man, I feel like they'll be 17th, but they'll just make it safe. But then we have 16th. I've gone with Everton, Frank Lampard. I feel like he'll be able to keep them up, but it's not like it's going to be a very easy season or very good season. It's just going to be one where you're just satisfied enough that that you won't play, that you'll be satisfied enough that you just stay up, and not that you're not going to be finishing like 10th, 11th or 12th. It's going to be a very sticky season for Everton, especially with Dominic Calvert-Lewin being injured so much. They've lost Richarlison, Van der Beek's gone back to Manchester United. They're not sure about Dele Alli. Their one hope that they're trying to get Billy Gilmore on loan, and they better hope that they do, because it's going to be a tough season for them with or without him. So yeah, man, I feel like Everton are going to finish 16th. And then 15th, I've gone from Crystal Palace, and people will be like, oh my days, Crystal Palace, they were so good last season. And that is true. Vieira did a very good job last season. And obviously with players like Gallagher, Zaha, and even Edward, they were doing well. Their defense, Mark Guy, he's a great defender, obviously come from Chelsea. And their goalkeeper can stop shots, but for me, I don't know, it's just a different season. They get different results, and I don't think Crystal Palace are going to do as well as they did last year. So for me, I feel like they're going to finish 15th, but I could be wrong. We'll see come next May. And then we have Nottingham Forest. I feel like they will finish 14th. In the Premier League, when a team gets promoted, one team out of the new promoted teams always does well. And for some reason, I feel like that will be Nottingham Forest. It's a team that were doing very well in the Championship last season. They've even beaten, I believe they beat Arsenal in the FA Cup or Carabao Cup to knock them out. And a lot of young talent, a good coach. We're going to have to wait and see how they are, because I haven't seen them play that much. But now when they're in the Premier League, we have to see week in, week out how well that they do. So for me, I feel like they're going to finish 14th. And then we have Brighton. Brighton, I feel they will finish 13th due to the fact that they play very good football. but obviously it'll be a drop down from where they finished last season because they have lost Basuma. It looks like Cucurella is definitely going to leave, and they don't have players that score goals. That was their Achilles heel, not scoring enough goals. Just always just scraping past teams if they get the win. So most of the time, but obviously they have good players and can get good performances. But I feel like they're gonna finish. I feel like they're gonna finish 13th for me. And then we have Brentford. Brentford team who's very physical, very hard working. I feel like they will finish 12th. They have a good team. Ivan Toney, their star performer in attack, and they have a lot of great players. Obviously, I personally like them. Obviously, because it's a London thing, but yeah, I feel like they're gonna finish 12th. And then we have Wolves. Wolves been like ever since they lost Espirito Santo, they were finishing seventh and that, but now they've just dropped, and I feel like they're gonna be out of the top 10 again. I think that they have very good players like Pedro Neto, they have Raul Jimenez, Juan Hee Chan, and they have their goalkeeper Saw. I obviously have a strong defense and a good midfield, but I feel like they will finish 11th for me. But I think the space between, you see, 12th and like 8th, I feel like that will be very tight for some reason. I feel like that's gonna be very tight. But yeah, so I say Wolves finish 11th. Leicester City, I think they will finish 10th, but that all kind of change because once the transfer window ends, they could have lost Maddison or someone, and they're looking like they're gonna lose either Maddison or Fofana. One of those players, even losing one of those players is big for them because they don't have a lot of depth in their squad. And on top of that, now that this season we're gonna have 5 subs, to have depth in your team, you're gonna need that. Serious, not even a joke. And then also we have but I feel like they're gonna finish 10th. So, but then now I think West Ham will finish 9th. A lot, like every team in the top 10, it could obviously it could change for me between like 7th and 10th could change. It could be different, but I'm gonna go with West Ham finishing 9th. They have a very strong team, but I feel like with playing European football, that costs them a lot. Especially, obviously, we have 5 subs, so they can rest more players, but they don't have the depth like that. They have more depth than other teams, but I don't know how they're going to factor in with playing in Europe, and I think they're going to finish 9th. A team like Aston Villa are going to benefit from teams playing in Europe in terms of West Ham because Aston Villa, very strong team, very, very strong team, made very good signings, and Gerrard is a very good manager. What he did with them last year was very good, and they nearly caused an upset against Manchester City after going 2-0 up. Can't forget about all of that. So for me, I think Aston Villa this season will finish 8th. So, and then 7th, I don't think it should be a surprise, but I feel like Newcastle will finish 7th. Obviously with their new investment, new takeover and such and that. Their first full season with a great manager in terms of Eddie Howe, I feel like they can progress very well. They can break into Europe just like Aston Villa could. And finish 7th will be when was the last time Newcastle ever finished 7th? That would, actually no, it could have been last season. I'm not 100% sure in it, but I feel like they're going to have a very good season. Actually, that's a lie. They didn't even finish 7th because they would have been Europe. So yeah, European places for them, that's what they're aiming for. I feel like they can definitely get it. So yeah, they're going to finish 7th. And then this way gets interesting. Top 6 is what a lot of people wait for. 6th place for me, I feel like it's going to be Arsenal. Arsenal, why? They were playing so well last season, they just missed out on top 4. Yes, but they also did this playing 1 game a week for most of the season. Knocked out the League Cup early, not to have the FA Cup early, no European football. They bottled top four. You shouldn't be able to bottle top four. I don't know. If this was a Manchester United team like that didn't have Europe, would they bottle top four? I doubt it. Tottenham, I doubt it. Chelsea, I doubt it. Obviously the other two above speak for themselves. But obviously other teams, I feel like, yeah, Arsenal are just that team that will get their hopes up so much and then let everyone down for their fans anyway. Because after they winning the FA Cup and Community Shield, something they traditionally do in their history, they don't really set new standards. So, on that note, I feel like they're going to finish sixth because they have fragile players. They won't be fit for most of the season. Not necessarily most season, but the majority of the season, they won't be injured for. The big games, they will be injured for as well. And it's like, they don't have the depth and they don't have backups for all their best players. And that's why it can hurt them. It's not impossible they can get into the top four, but they are going to need their players to step up and prove a lot of people wrong, like me, who think Arsenal just have fragile players and players that are good, but at Arsenal you're going to get to a certain level because it's Arsenal. It's shown for the last 15 years how it's gone. So for me, obviously every Arsenal thinks and hopes that they will get top four, but I don't think so. But we will see. And then fifth place, I think Manchester United. Why Man U will finish fifth? Because to go back-to-back season with them having like rubbish season, because last year was their worst season ever. I feel like with a new manager, bringing a certain philosophy, they can get a Bruno Fernandes, Ronaldo, Rashford, Martial, Sancho all performing. Get at least 3 of those men to deliver at least 10 plus goals in the Premier League, then the fight is on for top four, because top four is going to be a big fight. And there's no guarantees who will finish third and fourth. There's only guarantees on who finished first and second at this point in time. So for me, it's going to be close, but I feel like Manchester United will miss out on top four. But as like them and Arsenal, they can put all their money on Europa League, because I feel like that's their best bet to get a new Champions League next season. So yeah, man. But then fourth place, Tottenham. Tottenham have invested well. They bought so many new signings, probably made like 5-6 signings. Some of them Richarlison, Basuma, Spence, Perisic. They signed a lot of good players who can fit Conte's system. Conte doesn't need great players in order to not say great players. He needs great players, obviously, Son, Kane, and that. But he needs players to do what he wants them to do, because he is that guy that can, as long as he gets them fit and tells them what to do, he can get the best out of them. And it's proven everywhere that he goes, because everywhere he can point to some sort of success. So yeah, I feel like they will finish fourth, but it's going to be tight. And then my team, Chelsea, I feel like we're going to finish third. Why? Oh, we haven't signed so many players. We've lost Rudiger, we've lost Christensen, we've lost Lukaku. 1, we didn't need Lukaku to finish top 4 last season. 2, Rudiger and Christensen, fair enough, they are big deals, but I feel like we've replaced Rudiger with a player that is most likely better than him in Khalid Koulibaly. And we haven't replaced Christensen, but it's looking likely that we will eventually. But obviously, as of now, talking about as the teams as they are right now, these are what my predictions are. I feel like that people discredit us. They seem to forget, just because we didn't make signings, that they forget that we finished with the most points. We finished with the most points since the last time we won the league, with Reece James being injured for like 8 weeks of the Premier League season. N'Golo Kante not starting more than 25 games in the Premier League. Kovacic missing so much of the season. Ben Chilwell basically missing the whole of the season. An inconsistent front line, and we still finished third. And it wasn't even like, oh, we was in mad jeopardy in order to finish outside the top 4. It was never a discussion. It was never a discussion. And because now we signed Koulibaly and Sterling, you guys think that, oh, because we lost those players, we're not going to finish inside the top 4. teams like, people will say like teams like Arsenal, Man U could finish in the top 4. It's not impossible, but I don't see how that logic is when realistically it was hampered by our own thing in terms of having the sanctions, having injuries and such. I don't see how people make it seem like that we are worse off, that we will finish 6th. I don't get it. But yeah, I feel like Chelsea will finish 3rd. Again, hopefully with more points than we did last season. But then 2nd place, Manchester City. Man City, they have won the Premier League back-to-back. No team other than Manchester United have ever won it 3 times in a row. They could do that, especially with the fact that they've signed Erling Haaland, Julian Alvarez, they've signed Calvin Phillips. Very good signings to a beast squad that they have already. Beast squad. Beast. But they have lost Gabriel Jesus. They have lost Raheem Sterling. They have lost Zinchenko. They could lose someone else before the transfer window ends, but obviously over those 3, it's changed their flexibility so much. You went from having Jesus, Sterling, Foden, Grealish, Bernardo Silva, who could all interchange last year. Obviously now you have Julian Alvarez, Haaland, both who are strikers. Alvarez could play as a winger, yes. You have Phil Foden, you have Jack Grealish. Bernardo Silva, will he play as a winger most of the time? I'm not sure. Could he play a false 9? Of course. But the way they create the dimensions with their other attacks that they have, they've lost so much pace. I feel like that's going to hamper them. And I feel like they will just miss out on the Premier League. It's going to be tied between them and Liverpool, but I feel like Man City will finish 2nd. And Liverpool, for me, I feel like they will finish 1st. It reminds me of the time when, obviously that time where they came so close to winning it, and the next season after that, they just ran away. They have also obviously laid down the mark of winning the Community Shield last week. Can't read into that too much, but their players looked way more sharper than Man City, especially Mo Salah. These players are coming back with a vengeance. They want to win another Premier League. They go to the Champions League final, they go to all the finals that they were pictured to last year. Obviously, they've lost Sadio Mane. Not ideal, not great, but Darwin Núñez, Firmino, like they've taken out, they've replaced. City can't necessarily they've replaced, because someone like Sterling, they don't have another winger like Sterling. Foden, obviously, and my bad, they missed out Mahrez. My fault. I completely forgot about Mahrez. I missed out Mahrez for them, but I feel like the way they could change up their team, they can't have too much inconsistencies. They have a lot of inconsistency. Their attack will struggle, and that's the one area where they need to get the best out of, because Liverpool, they will score more goals than City. It's just whether will they concede more or not. But that's what it is. It's gonna be just the little details that separate those two, in my opinion. I feel like that's how the Premier League will finish. So for me, yeah, Liverpool win the Premier League this season. That's my opinion. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully neither Liverpool or Man City win it. Hopefully Chelsea could win it. I hope, but that's just my opinion. But obviously, I'm just going to read out the 20 teams on how I think they'll finish again, so no misses. So Fulham 20th, Bournemouth 19th, Leeds United 18th, Southampton 17th, Everton 16th, Crystal Palace 15th, Nottingham Forest 14th, Brighton 13th, Brentford 12th, Wolves 11th, Leicester 10th, 9th West Ham, 8th Aston Villa, 7th Newcastle, 6th Arsenal, 5th Manchester United, 4th Tottenham, 3rd for Chelsea, 2nd Manchester City, 1st Liverpool. Those are my Premier League 22-23 predictions. Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Let me know who you think will be in the top 4. Let me know, like, whoever, anyone can view this video from any team. Let me know how many points you think your team will get. Comment that. Subscribe to the channel. Share amongst your friends. Discuss it. And yeah, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok for more Chelsea content. I am CFC Redis Blue, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.